Hey, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to do something a little different. We're not just going to solve a physics problem. We're going to deconstruct it, piece by piece, to see how you can guarantee you get every single mark.
So, what's the secret sauce here? How do you go from a decent answer to a perfect one? Well, it's not just about knowing the physics, right? It's about understanding exactly what the person marking your paper is looking for. It's about precision, a clear structure, and giving them exactly what they need to take all those boxes.
Okay, let's dive right in with what's usually the trickiest bit, the big 6 marker. This is where a really solid structure can be the difference between just scraping by and absolutely nailing it. All right, here's the question we're tackling. Explain the factors that affect the distance needed to stop a vehicle in an emergency. Now, see that little bracket, 6 marks? That's your first big clue. It's screaming, I need a detailed, well-structured answer. So, let's build one. Okay, first things first, and this is absolutely key. Before you even think about listing factors, you've got to define your terms. Start by stating that stopping distance is simply thinking distance plus braking distance. Boom. Just like that, you've laid the foundation for a top-tier answer and shown the examiner you get the big picture. And here's where so many people trip up. You can't just throw all your ideas onto the page. For top marks, you have to separate your factors into 2 clear categories, the ones that affect thinking distance and the ones that affect braking distance. Lumping them all together is a super common mistake, and it's an easy way to lose marks. So let's look at thinking distance. What affects it? It's all about the driver's reaction time, right? So we're talking about things like how fast the car is going, of course, but also, is the driver tired? Have they been drinking? Are they distracted by their phone? All these things slow down the driver's ability to react. Okay, now for braking distance. Here, the focus totally shifts to the car itself and the road conditions. Yeah, speed is a factor again. That's a big one. It affects both. But you also have to talk about things like a wet or icy road, worn out tires, or brakes that aren't in great shape. These all increase the distance it takes to actually stop once you hit the pedal. All right, we've nailed the descriptive part. Now, the exam shifts gears a bit. We're moving from explaining concepts to actually applying a formula and doing some math. It's a whole different skill. And here we have a classic 1 marker. Write down the equation which links distance, force, and work done. This is what you'd call a gimme question, if you know your equations. It's a pure memory test. And there it is. That's all you need. Work done equals force times distance. Write that down and you've banked that mark. Easy peasy. Okay, so now we actually have to use that formula. The question gives us the work done, 900,000 joules, and the braking force, 60,000 newtons. And look, it's worth 3 marks. That's a huge hint. It tells you that just writing down the final number isn't enough. You've got to show your work. So, how do you get all 3 of those marks? It's a 3-step dance. First, you rearrange the formula to get distance by itself. That's mark number 1. Second, you plug in the numbers from the question. That's mark number 2. And then you do the calculation. Don't you dare skip those first 2 steps. And when you do the math, 900,000 divided by 60,000, you get 15 meters. That's it. That's your 3rd mark. A nice, clean 3-step solution. Okay, on to the final part of the question. This is where we connect all that physics theory back to the real world. We're going to look at the practical dangers involved with braking. So the question is, what are the dangers if a car decelerates or brakes really hard? What happens when you slam on the brakes? It's a 2-mark question, which means we need to come up with 2 different solid points. And look, here's a peek behind the curtain at the official mark scheme answers. To get your 2 marks, you could mention pretty much any 2 of these. Things like the brakes getting so hot they stop working properly, the driver losing control, the car skidding, or even the risk of injury to the people inside. Knowing these options gives you a massive advantage. So after breaking all of that down, what's the big takeaway here? What's the secret to not just passing, but really acing these kinds of questions? It really boils down to these 4 things. 1, structure your answer, especially for the big mark questions. Split it into thinking and braking. 2, use the right keywords, the precise scientific terms. 3, for any calculation, no matter how simple, show every single step. And 4, know the different possible answers for theory questions. It's a game plan that works every single time. And you know what? This whole approach, it's not just about stopping distances. This is a powerful strategy you can use for pretty much any exam question. Mastering this is the real secret to success. So the question to leave you with is, where else are you going to apply this? Think about that.